You my only hope. What am I gonna do? John G TV. Oh, yeah. Welcome back to Gear Chat. Yeah. Welcome back to Gear Chat University. Ding. You. I don't know what I would do about every I tune in. You. Every week I tune in to Gear. You, and you. Oh. Every week I tune in to Gear. You. Calm that down, John G. You too hype. Welcome back to Gear Chat. You. Welcome back to Gear Chat University. I am John G, the El Capitan. And today, man, listen here. First off, hold on. Let me take it all the way down. Let me go with a hard mute. That's a quick mute. Going back to last week, there was a standoff, if you will, and I don't know. I feel like we've already gone over this. If not in GCU, definitely on John G TV. We've talked about this, but hey, it's nothing like reiterations, right? But I forgot the gentleman, or the other party that was involved. But I know Murata basically took a stance on, I would say, authenticity. Speaking speaking to a certain style of beat making, saying that it's authentic to make beats a certain way using gear basically versus the computer. So the whole it's like the age old gear versus computer debate, and and I mean the short of it. I like to draw the conclusion to is that at the end of the day, no one cares how the beat is made. Only we, the beat makers, care. But people that are listening, people don't even ask. They don't care about how it's made, whether it was on a cell phone or a computer or whether you use gear. People do not care. Either you're making my head nod and it feel good, or it don't. Just either I like it or I don't. It's either it's I or I love it. Like it's just that simple. So, but we, the beat makers, and maybe it's people that just like to kind of geek out in that way, might speak on how it was made. But it's really doesn't mean anything. It only means something to the people that make it. So, but I will say this to Murata: the way you're looking at computers and saying that it's not authentic, and especially in terms of making boom bap style um, beats. The sampler and the drum machine is in the keyboard is the same thing musicians have the feel. Hear me out. So imagine the drummer. When the drum machine came along, the drummer was like, "What?" When the keyboard came along, now you got instrumentalists. What? They probably looked at the that gear the same way. That ain't real. Like, and so the same way you look at computers and go, the same way they looked at, if you go back even further, the same way they looked at anybody that used gear. When you can just have real musicians, a real drummer, a real trumpet player, a real saxophone player, versus this keyboard that has all these sounds on it. And so the 80s, there was a turn of there was technology came into it. In the 70s, everything was analog. It was real. It was really real. So all of them people back then looked at the 80s when they started turning to this whole because all the musicians, they out of work. Artificial intelligence has come in and taken over their job. So now you got one person being the whole band. He the drummer, the string section. He all in one because he can arrange it and do it and play it on the keyboard. So just think about how musicians must feel knowing that you skipping like it was a time when you had to go holler at a trumpet player. You ain't getting around that. If you want this trumpet sound, you got to come see me. Now all of a sudden you ain't got to come see me no more. So anybody that can play trumpets doesn't even matter unless you finna play like how you got to get your money is get out here and play like everybody else. But the days of just having the demand because people had to use you gone. We don't need you no more, trumpet player, drummer. I have a machine now at my fingertips. Not to mention the availability. That was another problem back in those days. If there's only so many drummers, well, obviously everybody can't have a drummer then. And you especially can't have them when you want them. So the convenience of the drum machine was that now I don't have to be tethered to this other human that's not going to be available when I want it. But this machine is here. So whenever I'm ready, the machine ready. Machine always ready. The machine is never not ready. Unless it's not working, the machine is ready. It's waiting on you. So imagine how all of the musicians must have felt. So I say that to say, so when you're looking at computers and going, and VSTs and all of this kind of stuff, again, and I'm not saying I champion anybody to make your stance. Whatever your stance is, stand on it. But I would say be humble at the same time. Like I'm not gonna, turn my nose up because you make beats in a certain way and I don't. I would never do that. Like to put limitations on music making is what's the word? You like you playing yourself. Like you don't try to put limitations on it. You make it the way you make it and rock with it and ride and champion that. But I'm not gonna, and I don't think anybody should hate or look down upon somebody else that's making another way. The only way I would say that is if you have somebody who's like, okay, if you have somebody who's bragging, saying that they're all of this and that, and you know for a fact that they're really just arranging, even still then, you may know that this person they ain't making beats from scratch, okay? They're just putting together loops You have beat makers out there because that's how I started making beats back in the early days. I, Back when they had just those loops, you just put loops together, and essentially you just formulate different loops however you want to arrange these different songs. Again, you think somebody would care if they like what you made, how you did it, you know? But if it's too if I'm making beats and I see you making beats a certain way and I see you like bragging about how you make the beats and I see how you make the beats, I go, man, get out of here. But that's behind the lines, behind the curtains, behind the scenes. Again, out in front, nobody the audience doesn't care nothing about that. They don't. So it doesn't matter. So it's really like, why even sit back here and argue behind the scenes amongst a few people that is meaningless? So however you do what you do, great. However you do what you do, great. I don't, doesn't matter. It's either I like it or I don't. How you made it is, as far as I'm concerned, is irrelevant. It's really just, conversation talk. Let's sit down and talk or whatever. Like, how this was done or how that was done or whatever, and just for whatever kind of purpose. I forgot. Damn, I kind of missed that green lighting though. Yeah, I like that. I just don't like the TV being on. See what we can do about that. All bad people. All right, might be a little bouncing the string around. See what that do. Yeah, so anyways, like I said, I don't want to talk over long and long about it. Whatever, man. I mean, it's all fair game. I mean, now I will say this. Oh, this is the other point. I'm sorry, and I forgot. I think it might have been Fake Work who said this. Somebody said. So that was one conversation from last week that I saw. But outside of that, the next thing that I saw that the light bulb went off, there was a phrase that was used. And the one thing I will say about computers, computer beat making, right? Is similar to the internet, meaning it has leveled the playing field. Okay, you have more people now making beats than ever, and it's because of the accessibility and ease to make beats. Before you had to have certain gear or you had to have a actual musical talent. Now you don't have to know how to do nothing. You don't gotta know how to play no keys. You really don't even have to know nothing about music theory. You just start playing around with what's available and you can make something good. Now obviously the more you know, the better. But there was a phrase that was used in that the concept was more or less because of computers and the way technology has come along, we've lost workflows. And there was so lost workflows that kind of stuck out like, wait a minute, might be onto something here. Lost workflows. Let's think about this for a second. Lost workflows. So think about how you used to make beats. Remember how chopping samples used to be and how easy it is now? And so certain gear, this is really coming from the SP 1200 or 2400 conversation, the limitations that it had. And because of those limitations, or because of the workflow, or because of the device, it required you to have a certain workflow. And so now that computing and things have made it so like auto chopping and all of this stuff, you've lost previous workflows. In some cases, they're no longer needed because now you got all of this ease of use. Auto chopping, auto everything, right? Being able to automate motion sequence. I still believe motion sequencing or automations is just like the bee's knee. That still gets me giddy. And then to take it even further with parameter locking, Like what Electron does, like that's just like so. Still for me, that's just phenomenal. Um, but yeah, I do. I believe a lot of us have because we're moving along with technology. We have lost some of our workflows, and it probably would be great to go back and explore some of those previous workflows on modern gear. Instead of going with the ease of use that's available, try going back to or incorporating a mixture of the two because workflow, in my opinion, simply means how you work and how the beat will turn out. And so different workflows will produce different beats. So I for one, because I make so many beats, I have no interest in making beats the same way every time. Like I'm always trying to figure out something different just so I can come up with a different product. And so uh, thinking about the fact that lost flows have may have been lost over time, like when he said that, it just kind of resonated, and I definitely wanted to speak on that because if you if you go back, because some people haven't moved on, they still using the MPC 60. They make beats the way they make beats. They code at it, and that's that. They never really progress to all of this new stuff. That's fine. Again, it doesn't matter, man. I really don't care nothing about that. How you make a beat, I don't give a damn if it's with your cell phone. Either you can do it very well, okay, all right, or not at all. I mean, it's just that cut and dry as far as I'm concerned. Um, Everything else is what is earned through body of work. Certain producers have certain because they've put in work and got connections in the industry, actually working professionals, and you know, other than the fact that they are that with those accolades, at the end of the day, you can make a beat. Whomever you are can make a beat or production just as good as them. Now, are you going to be able to uphold everything that they've done to become them? Maybe, maybe not. But as far I treat this like any given Sunday, any given beat, somebody can win. There is no you. Dr. Dre isn't gonna just make something every. I don't give a damn who you are. So you have to. It's just part of the process, as far as I'm concerned. You got to make some whack to get to that next great thing. Like everything isn't gonna be great. Everybody can't be great every day. It's just not gonna happen. You just want to throw as much stuff on the wall as you can, see what all sticks, and at the end of the day, people go and we go, oh, okay, such and such is a great producer. Well, whoever you think is great, I guarantee you they got some trash in their portfolio. Now they might not want to show it. Me, I ain't for that. I've said this before. I don't throw away nothing. So I don't, cause it might be foul to me, but somebody else may hear it, and so that's how I look at art. I experienced this with pictures when I was doing my photo editing, stuff that I thought was, man, this gonna be. I'm showing it off. I'm like, yeah, this right here raw, and they gonna be like, they look at it and go, it's all right. They'll go to the next picture, and I'm thinking like, man, it's trash. I ain't even do nothing. I'm looking at all the technical stuff that I did or did not do, and they'll, oh my god, I love this. This is so awesome. How did you like this? I'm like scratching my head, and that so again, all right, I gotta take myself out of it. Yeah, I made it. I made all this, but I would never throw away. And some of us are like this, and I can't. If that's your thing, hey, that's your thing. But as creators, I know there are some of us. When you go to show your art, you have a certain sensitivity because you're being judged, and you don't want to be judged, right? Or you don't want the harsh reality that somebody may say, "Oh, this is trash." If you're an artist, you got a book of drawings or book of poetry or whatever. You protect that. You don't want nobody to see it because you might not be. You don't feel as though you ready or whatever. Um, but with me, like I said, I keep everything. I don't throw away nothing because you don't know who gonna like the stuff that you consider trash. Maybe somebody else's treasure. Treat it just like that. I don't throw away nothing. If it's saved, it's saved. That's that. I'm not gonna intentionally say, nah, throw this away. No, 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 no. because somebody might like it. All right, enough of that recapping. 20 minutes of that recapping from last week. Moving on to the new juicy stuff. How y'all like it? The Vocal cassette. You know what I'm saying? It's coming soon to stores. You know what I'm saying? Y'all thought it was a April Fool's. The real April Fool's is that it's real, and y'all thought it was a joke. See, let me cut this back on now. Yeah. See, y'all thought it was a joke. The Vocal cassette is coming. It's coming, Cord, right? Cord, Vocal cassette. Yeah. With the cassette that goes in it, and you can make stuff. I hope it come out. Yeah, it's coming though. I'm saying because it got to. They had the picture and everything. Like I saw it. It was real. That wasn't no rendering. That was a real because it had everything was so convincing and and how the person was walking and they had it and they walked off and they had the cassette and it was white, kind of like the vocal sample a little bit. And so, and they had the buttons and everything. And I was trying to figure out how was it going to work. Is it just the tape was the effect or was it an actual tape that I can record? But see, I don't know exactly until I get it. So we got to wait on that. So, yeah. Okay, so what I want to talk about this week is this thing right here, man. Man. Let me cut this down. Man. Did y'all see this Analog Solutions Impulse Command synth module? Did y'all see this? Oh my God, Analog Solutions, boy. They quietly they just, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody paying attention to them. They just quietly just marching up the field. They marching up the field, and ain't nobody paying attention to them. They made that ugly orange thing because it was orange, but it actually sounds pretty good. The patternator, I think it's called, that kind of interests me. Like, all right, that seems a little different, a little random pattern generator or whatever. Okay, you got my attention. The orange is throwing me off, though. The orange is completely throwing me off. Yeah, Analog Solutions, Impulse Command. I didn't know. I mean, this is what is this? Who is this company? I think they're German, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. I think they're from Germany. I think, if I'm just recalling correctly. Yeah. So. It's coming at the Medusa price range. So you have the Medusa this now and something else. And I'm thinking like this guy this little buddy right here, man, he done came in and stole somebody because, the Medusa, I mean, as much as we want to love it, like, I don't know about the Medusa. I still don't know about. But let's take a look. I'm gonna play a little snippet real quick. Hope I don't get flagged for nothing because they be flag on the play. Wasn't even no flag on the play. That was all me. What are you doing? That was all original. Jeez. The Impulse Command. I'm sorry. I just want to play that back right there, just to hear the beginning part. Just listen to this sound. Oh my God, that sounds good. All right, this is here. my God. Oh, I'm talking about funky like an old batch of collard greens. Why? Woo, the analog. Listen, listen. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. This thing sounds good, people. That's all I'm saying. I'm sold. Now I'm saying is they ain't giving it away. All right, I already said it's in the price range of the Medusa. Okay, like damn near exactly the same price as the Medusa, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, you heard that. That sounds amazing. Um, Dual stereo filter. Um, I'm not look. Y'all can go check it out and read all the specs on it. But it's basically a dual oscillator. Is that what I'm saying? Dual VCO. Yeah, two VCOs, two envelope generators, two LFOs, and a 16-step sequencer. Two sequencers. I'm sorry. Um, I believe everything analog, but it has a digital effects, digital reverb, and digital delay. I believe. Anyways, man, listen. You heard that. I don't need to hear no more. I'm sold. I'm in. I'm already giving this a 5-star rating, and I ain't even touched it yet. Them Sonics, I'm sold. I'm sorry. Call me a sucker all you want. I know what I heard. I know what I heard, and I know what I can do with that. Yes, sir. So yeah, man, that's the main juicy part of the class today is this analog solutions. In fact, if you don't mind, because the time really hasn't gone by that far, we've only been here a little 27 minutes. I mean, you might as well go back and let's play a little more, John G. Say less. I'm sorry, it is semi-modular, of course. Listen, man, listen. I don't need to hear no more. Listen. I know what I'm hearing. Now, if you need to look, go. Okay, that's your assignment. If you ain't, if this your first, man, listen. Go right. Stop. This is the video. John John G Cut. This is it. Go check this out right now. Analog Solutions, Impulse Command. Oh wait. Where we at? Where we at, John G? Where we at, John G? You just gonna end class like that, man? Why not? Class dismissed.
I don't know what I'm doing about that. Every week I tune in to gear check. You. I don't know what I'm doing about that. Every week I tune in to gear check. You. I don't know what I'm doing about that. Every week I tune in to gear check. You. I don't know what I'm doing about that. Every week I tune in to gear check.
As always, have a fun, great, safe weekend. Um, make dope beats. Learn as much as you can about your gear and just have a good time. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy your loved ones, and brush them haters off. Ugh.
see, John G.